So I'm trying to hold the camera about as level as I can, and this view doesn't do it justice, but this trail, the lake I'm headed to, it's about 3.7 miles, 3.8 miles in. The first, I think 2.5 miles of this trail is a pretty good climb right out of the gate. It's climbs about 1,100 to 1,200 feet in its first 2.5 miles or so. And I'm in the middle of the sustained climb right now. It basically climbs up to a divide or a ridge that separates the waters draining west into the Wise River drainage from the waters draining to the east into the Big Hole drainage. Once you get to the top of that ridge and drop over, you link up with a major trail, and it's pretty smooth sailing after that. But if you haven't hiked in a while, which it's been 4 weeks since I've hiked, this climb, this first climb, it gets your attention. So more to come. Okay, so I'm about 45 minutes into the hike. The top of the ridge or divide, kind of off to my left, you can kind of see it up there, is not too far ahead. Now, one thing, if you're looking at maps, you'll see a split here. The old trail is the right split, okay? And that basically, I haven't been up it, but from the map, it climbs pretty straightforward to the divide. Don't know, it's not, I don't believe it's maintained any longer, but anyway, about 10 to 15 years ago, this section of the trail was rerouted, and the new is here on the left. And basically the new one, it swerves to the north and climbs up to the divide. So it's a little longer than going this way. Just don't know, this way is obviously shorter, but I don't know what kind of shape it's in. So but anyway, most of the Forest Service maps have not been updated for this. So yeah, just be aware of that if you figure out what trail this is. Now, if you made it this far, this is the view you're treated to as I'm working my way on my final climb to the top of the ridge here. But yeah, so this out here is the upper Big Hole Valley. Can't really see them, but the Anaconda Pintlers are over here, and the road that I came up is right down there. All right, good morning. It is Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, and I'm in the West Pioneers, the West Pioneer Mountains of southwest Montana, kind of over by Wisdom, and I'm about an hour and 20 minutes. I've been hiking for about an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm on my final approach to Cliff Lake. That's what I'm going to call it, Cliff Lake. Not too bad. Haven't seen anybody. I was the only one at the trailhead. I have noticed that you can no longer find directions to the trailhead anywhere on the internet. So depending on your point of view, that's either good or bad. So I'm in here just for the day, on a day hike. It's about 3.7, 3.8 miles in here. I'm probably within a quarter or a third of a mile of the lake. So yep, it's been 4 weeks since my last hike, but I'm doing pretty good. Of course, it's a lot different with a 10-12 pound day pack versus a 34-pound backpack. So pretty good climb in here out of the trailhead. There's a short climb on the final approach here that I'd forgotten about. But anyway, hopefully the fishing's good. So more to come at the lake. All right, so we're here, and just going to highlight a couple of the campsites. Of course, this one is, some would say this is too close to the lake shore, but this area is not designated wilderness, so I don't know that there's a requirement for the 200-foot rule. Another campsite in here. There's some more, I believe, down on that side of the lake. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I've kind of been scouting the lake a little bit, and I'm on the upper end of it here. As good as those campsites were that I showed you at the north end of the lake, there's one over here, and it's your 5-star campsite. Anyway, I am seeing a few fish rising over here. There's this... Over here, there's a lot of shoal area. You really need to wade it, which I have my waders with me. Over in here, there's access to deeper water. The bad news is you know, I'm going to have to wade it, and going to be some roll casting. But I am seeing some fish rise. This lake is on a 4-year stocking schedule. It was last stocked 3 years ago. So there will be 3-year-olds, and there should be a few 7-year-olds in here too. I've been here before. I was here 4 years ago in late June 2021, and I had the single best day in the high country that I've ever had, and I've been doing this over 40 years. It was just nothing like it. It was one of those days that you've heard about. I ran into a full-blown Callibaetis hatch in here late June, and the fish were just pigs. And I was out here waiting, and I actually, you know, by about noon, I had fish that were actually swimming around my feet taking insects. It was really a great day. Now this is late August, so I'm not expecting there to be a big Callibaetis hatch. There will be 0 to few if there are any. But it is late August, and so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start off. I got both rods with me, but I'm going to start off with a floating fly line, and I'm going to fish an ant, a size 16 ant, which is something I used to do. That was used to be my standard thing in the high country. And I actually fished it here 4 years ago, just as the hatch started, and I actually caught fish on it. So it's late August. The food sources are dwindling. A size 16 ant, black foam ant should work in here. The other thing in the Northern Rockies, in late August and through September and into October, you see I don't know if you'd call it a hatch, but you see brown winged ants. You see falls of them, and they're very common up here in the Northern Rockies, starting in late August through September and into October. And so I have a few of those winged brown ants with me, and the fish can be selective at times for them. although usually a black foam-man is a close enough match in these waters. Like I said, I saw nobody at the trailhead. That was the case 4 years ago, but within an hour, it was filled with people. That was late June. This is late August. I think school has started in some parts, so I don't know. I am expecting to see a few people here. We'll see. Yep. So we'll see how she fishes, and I've done enough talking, so more to come. So I'm rigging up here, and there's all kinds of fish working out here, rising. Some pretty close into shore here. So I have my waders with me, and I've got my sandals. I've got some wading sandals, some oversized Tevas that I use for wading sandals. I can't, can't really wade too aggressively with those, but I can get out there just to get some cat. There's one right here. Right here, but just rose right there. Yeah, close in. So I've just got to be careful when I wade, fish this out here. And I see rises on down the shoreline in the shoal areas too. This lake, it has a reputation of fishing very well. It's a very pleasant lake. I have high hopes for today. Let's see if I can catch some, because I have not had a good summer with this. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me see if I can get that thing to focus a little bit. But what I've got here is a size 16 foam ant. I've got a floating fly line rigged up, and the leader I'm using just a standard Rio PowerFlex 7.5 foot 3X leader, standard PowerFlex. And now what I've done with that is, and I'm using the PowerFlex because I don't want it to sink. I want it to float, and I don't want to have to grease it excessively. But what I've done to that is I've attached about a 4-foot section of 4X fluorocarbon onto the tippet section, and then I've tied the ant on. So a bunch of fish working out here in front of me. I'm going to get to it real quick. I'm going to grease the leader with some floating and hope to have some success. So, okay, fish right out here, and they're working in close here. So, yeah, we'll need to grease the line here and the fly, and then go to work. Okay, that fish just rose again over here. So here we go. The biggest issue with this, it can be very effective, but the biggest issue with it is just patience. And there's one right there. Let's see if the biggest issue with this is just patience. Because you got to wait for the fish to come to you, to come to your fly. All right, there we go. Of course, I had the camera off, and old fish made it over there and took the ant. All right. This is what we were hoping for. All right, let's get him back in the water. Let's show him to you and get him back in the water. So this would be a 3-year-old.
Come on. If he'll let me. He may not let me. Come on, bud. Oh, yeah. Full of fight. There you go. That's your 3-year-old. And there he goes. Alright, got a fish working over here. My fly's kind of in the area. Let's see if he moves to the right here. I've got a good chance. Just depends. You don't know which way he's going. Had a fox run through here a minute ago. He didn't know I was here until I spoke to him. He's right over here. A red fox. So that fish may have been going the other way. We'll see. That's what's frustrating about this, is if they're not actively working a hatch or something, it's hard to pick up which direction they're going. There was one over in here, and then there was that one over there. So yeah, and you gotta wait. What they'll do is they patrol the areas, and that's probably the same fish over here that went out a little further, and then they'll come back. They typically have a route that they patrol. So that may recast here. Ah, yeah. Almost lost the fly. Yeah, it's the patience thing. I caught myself looking away, and that's when he grabbed it. Now this fish has been caught before, I think. Yeah, you can see his jaws. That's too bad. Oh well. And we got another one. Now, as you can see, a lot of activity out there. A lot of surface activity. This is a nice fish. He's bigger than I thought. So the first two I got, they were 12, maybe 13. This guy's a little bit bigger. Pretty west slope. There we go. All right. And he unhooked himself. Very well-mannered fish. It's a nice fish. All right, this is a nice fish, so let's see if we can. It's possible. I don't know. I don't know if this is a big 3-year-old or if it's a 7-year-old. I don't know. He may not let me. Come on, bud. There you go. Back you go. All right, so I've lost 2. And this one would be my 5th one. If I don't lose him too. I don't know, looks like we've got a little bit of haze coming in. I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case, but oh well. Alright, this one I think we're going to have to use the forceps. Alright, so I got problems here. I got a big fish. Got a very nice fish here. He doesn't get off. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it's a nice fish. This is a 7-year-old, I think. Yep, this is a 7-year-old. Yep, there's your 7-year-old. Here we go. Oh. Come on, easy does it, easy. That's your 7-year-old. That's your 7-year-old right there. Back you go. Back you go. All right. This one's not too big, but it's my 8th one. I've missed a couple in here. The bite slowed down a little bit, but I've missed a couple in here too, so. The fish released itself, which is very nice. All right. All right. Okay. Not too big. There you go. Back you go. Know what we've got here. Here we go. So this is number 9. I think I'm gonna have some lunch. Okay. All right, back you go. So it's a little, it's around 1 o'clock. I've caught and released 9, including at least one of the 7-year-olds. It has kind of slowed down here in the last 45 minutes to an hour, but still catching fish, so I'm having lunch now. There's 2 other people here on the other side of the lake fishing. Other than that, that's all I've seen. Yeah, pretty good day up here, which is good, because it's kind of been a disappointing summer. So I'll fish a little bit after lunch, and then pack up and leave. Nice day up here, though. There aren't many of these days left. Pretty soon we'll have snow up here. All right, just after lunch, I got another nice one. This would be 10 if I can get him into the net. Get him or her into the net. It's a nice fish too. About 14 inches. This is a nice fish. Fat. Good shape. Yeah, pretty fish. Nice fish. Alright. This is a pretty fish, nice fish. Yep, very nice fish. Alright. Look at that fish, nice fish. There you go. So I'm wading this little point out here, and there's this little bay, and I just took my eyes off and caught and hooked fish and lost. And that's what you get when you aren't paying attention. Well, but there's all kinds of fish in here. All kinds of fish in here. They're coming in, they're cruising the edge of this shoal here is what they're doing. So I got another one here, threw it out in the bay and he grabbed it instantly, and I just had to keep him out of the tree here. Another nice little west slope. Sorry you can't see, there we go. I'm just trying to get in, he almost got away there. Nice fish, nice fish. Look at that. That is a nice fish. Wow. Another super nice fish. There you go. Back you go. Look at that one. Look at that fish. Wow. Absolutely wow. Okay. All right. So that 13th fish snapped off my fly as I was unhooking him in the net. I got my fly back, but it's 2 o'clock. I think I'm gonna call it a day. What a glorious day up here. This lake, I honestly didn't know how today would be. This lake has a good reputation, but it, you know, when I was in here 4 years ago, you know, the calabatus were hatching, and it was like ringing the dinner bell for these fish. But did good on ants. I think the issue over here was I caught a few too many, and I started avoiding the area, so I moved down here, and there's still quite a few fish right over in here. This is a good area. Really helps if you have waders, but yeah, what a great day up here. So ended up with 13, and gonna pack up, call it a day, get some water, and head down the trail. All right, here's the other campsite at the south end of the lake. There's the trail. Wonder where it goes. I have an idea. Maybe. All right, it's 2:30 p.m. on Saturday, August 23rd. Departing shot. This could have been a perfect shot, except there's a little bit of haze in the air from whatever wildfires there are. So, good day up here. Good lake.